What's up, Giants fans, Hub watchers, YouTube subscribers, Twitter and Instagram followers? It's Kush back at it again with another Giants video. Got a quick video for y'all since I had some time today. I real quick want to go over a couple takeaways I had from the Giants at Cowboys game, where it was like simultaneously the best game of the season because the offense got it going, which is going to be one of the takeaways, and simultaneously one of the worst because in the way that we lost. Which, in Jesus Christ, man, Jerry Jones must have gave those refs some type of good payment, some good money, because the calls in those games, man, the 2 touchdowns that were called back were absolutely like just such ticky-tacky calls, especially the pick one that they called on the Daniel Jones to Darius Slayton touchdown. Like, even Darius Slayton was, he admitted, he's like, bro, I don't even know what the call was on. It was such a ticky-tacky call, and then they completely just did not call. And there's evidence, there's photo and video evidence. Even Cowboys fans said this to me, that they saw the ref going for the flag to throw the flag on the holding call at the end of the game, but they did not throw the flag because I don't know why. Maybe the refs really were paid off, who knows. But let me get into it. These are my like 5 or 6 takeaways that I have from that game. The first one up is that the defense still has a way to go, and that's this defense let up 37 points today. It's very strange that we have games like Chicago and then we have games like the Rams where the defense comes out and they play like the best defense in the NFL legitimately. And in the case in which we went up against the Rams, they went up against one of the best offenses in the NFL, and they had such a good day, especially against the run. And this was both in Chicago and in Los Angeles. So good against the run that the defense going into the Cowboys game was the 11th best rushing defense. And then they let Ezekiel Elliott run over them all day, all the time. The dude was getting whatever yardage he wanted. We could stop Tony Pollard, but sure, that's understandable. Tony Pollard's a backup. Zeke, who up until this point in the season has not been performing like Zeke. So like the argument of saying, oh, well, it's Ezekiel Elliott, he's one of the best running backs in the league. Through the first 4 weeks of the season, he was actually struggling. He's not getting yards like he used to get. Part of that is because the Dallas Cowboys offense is not as good as it once was. And another part of that is because the dude was a fumbling machine the first 4 weeks. And the Giants, we couldn't even get that going for Zeke. So I don't know what happened with this defense, but it's clear that it has a ways to go. Because in a game like Chicago, we performed so good, and then the next game against the 49ers, they let up 39 points. We have a game like the Rams, you perform so good. The next game, they let up 37 points, almost identical. So this defense still has a ways to go, and it's showing flashes, which is why I still got confidence in it, and I still think it's better than what it's ranked, because it's obvious that it struggles in these games because of injuries. We're still missing one of our starting safeties. Lorenzo Carter went out today. We're missing two of our starting outside linebackers, and your only middle linebacker that you got is Blake Martinez. That's obviously going to affect the team. Speaking of which, that's my next takeaway. Lorenzo Carter means more to this defense than we previously thought. The guy went down with an Achilles tear during the game, and it's really sad. It was just like the Saquon injury. I saw this man go down, and I saw his knee buckle, and I was like, oh my God, his season's over. Once you see the knee buckle on any player and they go down on a non-contact injury, they're not coming back for the rest of the season. It's one of two things. It's either they tore their Achilles or they tore their ACL. And either way, those are injuries that takes like a year to 2 to recover from. And I feel so bad for Lorenzo, because just like Saquon, third-year players, unlike Saquon, however, this was the year Lorenzo seemed to put it together. He seemed like he was coming out. He was going to be a good starting outside linebacker for us, and he was doing real good in the pass rush and apparently in the run game as well. In fact, while Lorenzo has struggled with pass rushing throughout his career, the one thing he's been consistent at is run stuffing. And you notice that impact gone immediately once he left, because we were holding down Zeke. Lorenzo goes down with the Achilles tear, and then bam, all of a sudden Ezekiel Elliott is running all over this Giants defense. So he has a lot more of an impact on the run game than anybody would have previously thought. And prayers up to Lorenzo. I know everybody's talking about Dak, and rightfully so. Dak had a gruesome injury as well, but don't forget about the guy that's on our own team in Lorenzo Carter. He deserves some of the love as well. Now the next takeaway I got is Jason Garrett. And that is, Jason Garrett can actually call a good game. And I said this to Kid Blue during the stream after the first couple of drives where the Giants went up 17-3. I was like, was Jason Garrett actually just was he actually just using the first 4 weeks as an experiment? Like as a hot spot for him to test out what works with the offseason and what doesn't, as a substitute for the preseason? because this game he looked completely different. You know what I'm saying? The play calling this game was amazing. The offense showed up this game, and Jason Garrett showed up. His play calling this game was what I expected it to be from week 1. You know what I'm saying? The guy was taking deep shots regularly. He was calling, trick plays that weren't too cutesy, but they actually worked out. He was calling, routes that actually got receivers open. Case in point, the Slayton touchdown one that got called back. Jason Garrett was doing his thing. He was calling run plays that were straight up the middle, and which was what we were asking for, and that we're getting consistent runs. The run game got going this game. And honestly, I don't really think it was because of the offensive line, because the offensive line struggled this game, so it had to be because of the play calling, and obviously because of Devontae Freeman as well. You know what I'm saying? Freeman and Gallman had good games, so Jason Garrett had a good game today. I mean, it's not his fault. Definitely not the offense's fault, and certainly ain't the running backs or the weapons' fault that we lost this game. Basically on everybody else, you know what I'm saying? So that's another takeaway. And speaking of the offensive line, that's number 4 on here. Still in development. They still got a ways to go. I'm not sure why people are giving up on the rookie left tackle who's honestly performing like a veteran in Andrew Thomas. He had a 50-50 game. He definitely had one of the biggest just mishaps of the entire game. He whiffed the block on DeMarcus Lawrence. DeMarcus Lawrence came around and then bam, hit DJ. DJ dropped the ball, fumble, recovered for a touchdown. And that's on both Andrew Thomas and DJ. You know what I'm saying? And I'll get into DJ later, but that's really the only bad play from Andrew Thomas the entire game. But the offensive line as a whole, as a unit, was bad. There was multiple times that you got straight up dominated by the Cowboys defensive line. There was multiple times where the running backs could only get 1 or 2 yards. It was bad. And it's not what I expected coming off a game against the Rams where they were considerably better, and they went up against a considerably better defensive player in Aaron Donald and held this man down. So it is what it is, but I gotta say, Nick Gates and Cam Fleming gotta go. At the very least, get Cam Fleming out of there. Start Matt Peart next week against the Redskins. I mean, Matt Peart, last week showed that he could come in and he could get a couple of drives. I don't know if he's ready to start yet, but honestly, is he going to be much worse than Cam Fleming? At least on the discipline-wise? Just bring him in already. And then with Nick Gates, I wanted to be done with him last week after the just abundance of high snaps that I had. He had more high snaps this week, and then people seem to forget. Before that Cam Fleming, that Cam Fleming flag on the trick play, the reason we were in that position in the first place was because 3 downs in a row, Nick Gates messed up. He messed up with timing, or he messed up with some type of mishap. He just put us in that situation where it was difficult to score, and I'm kind of done with him at center. We don't have a better option. I'll admit that. We don't have a better option at center right now, but I'm done with Nick Gates. The 5th takeaway is Graham Gano. I had to put him on here. Put some respect on Graham Gano's name, man. He looks like the best kicker in the NFL. At the very least, we could say that. We got one of the best, if not the best kickers in the NFL in Graham Gano. Automatic, hitting it from 50 yards, 55-yard plus, and it's straight down the middle too. All of a sudden, he's become one of the most accurate kickers in the league. Every kick this man puts up literally goes straight down the middle, line drive. It's not even swaying anywhere. It's just straight down, Justin Tucker-esque. And then the power of Greg the Leg Zuerlein. I don't know what Graham Gano, what surgery he had in the offseason to fix his leg. Man looked like he put a robot leg on or something, because he hasn't missed anything so far. He's one of the best kickers in the league. And you know what? Shout out to him, man. He's been stupendous. He definitely deserves a Pro Bowl selection if he continues to perform like this. And then, the 6th and last takeaway that I have for this video is going to be kind of a divisive one. I know people are going to be 50-50 on me with this, but I've been very consistent on Daniel Jones and my takeaway on him. And I'm still consistent with it. I still say he needs to play the rest of the season, and we'll draw conclusions, how should I say this? We'll draw permanent conclusions, so to speak, at the end of the season, or we'll draw more heavy conclusions at the end of the season. Doesn't mean we can't look after a game's performance and, draw opinions about what we think about his performance, right? So, my opinion on his performance, as of October 12th, 2020, Daniel Jones is not the guy you want in crunch time. And this is another thing I said on stream with Kid Blue. We got the ball back with 1 minute and 56 seconds left and a timeout, and the game was tied. I was like, this right here is the drive that Daniel Jones could shut people up and he could prove that he's a franchise quarterback. I was like, he has to score here. I don't care if it's a touchdown. I don't care if it's a field goal. He needs to get us at the very least in field goal range and let the Giants score. He did not do that. And yes, it's not all his fault. Had Dion Lewis stayed up on his feet on that throw on the run that DJ made, we're probably in field goal range and we're talking about something different right now. But guess what? It didn't happen. It didn't happen. We basically went 3 and out, and the Giants gave the ball back to the Cowboys with 52 seconds left and 3 timeouts. And once again, I said it on stream, I'm like, that's way too much time. Our defense has shown that they can't stop the Cowboys offense this game. They're going to drive down and they're going to score. That's exactly what happened. DJ had almost a perfect setup for him to drive us downfield, get a field goal, get a touchdown, and win the game. You know, make a signature drive. He was not able to do that. Maybe he will be able to do that by the end of the season. But as of today, he's not, and that's just one of a couple things he has to improve on. It seems like the fumbling issue isn't fixed. I know he got caught off guard on that DeMarcus Lawrence play, but I'm sorry. I've seen quarterbacks get hit and they hold on to the ball in a situation like that. It's not fair that we as Giants fans have to worry all the time that when our quarterback gets hit, is he going to fumble the ball? Because you got to fix that, you know? That's what I got for y'all today. Let me know what you all think. What were your takeaways from the game? Put your comments down below, and I'm out. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. I'll catch y'all in the next one.